Alright guys, welcome back. So, last time in part 1 of this, I showed you a pretty hard carry game on Ruinberg. We were top tier in our Jackson, but here you can see this is not the case. We're towards the bottom of the list. There are still a good amount of tier 6s in this, but there are also some tier 8s. So this is a pretty unfriendly matchup in terms of their heavy hitters at the top. They could all pretty much put a serious hurting on us. Now we're here on Tundra, one of the 8.8's new map, and what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go along the 9 and 0 lines, but we don't want to go up here and be an active participant in taking the hill, because we would be in close proximity to enemies. We would have our slow rotating turret, as we've already established the Jackson has, and we would be getting hit from all sides, and it won't be a very pretty sight. So we're going to go instead to a sniping position around this area, where we can cover our teammates that are going to be up there doing the actual duking it out. And remember, as I said, especially in higher tier games, when you're not top tier, you want to be at the back. You want to be at the back sniping and being passive. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way. With only 560 HP, because I don't have the upgraded turret, I'm not going to last long if I start taking fire from these guns. So I'm definitely going to want to play it a little bit cool here. So you can see a couple of their Tiger 88, the Panther M10 and Panther are going up to take the hill. Churchill's going to follow closely behind. So I'm not too familiar with this map. I came to this spot thinking I could get up here, but I couldn't. So kind of a slow start to the game, because I insisted on getting up here, but then I realized, alright, well, I can't get up there without help. And I can't ask my platoon mate Volkerbo for any help, because he's all the way on the other side of the map. Even though, interestingly enough, he is in his Hellcat. So you can see here as our first target, the IS, tier 7 heavy. You can see, though, our 90mm is more than adequate to penetrate his side and lower glacis. So we put another shot into him, and he gets finished off by the Tiger 88. So that's 2 tanks down, VK3601H on the other flank, and their Tiger and their IS. So I'm gonna put one right into the front of that Churchill. Now remember, we're only exposing a little bit. We're exposing a little fraction of our turret here. We don't want to give the enemies too many shots, and we're letting our camo net deploy whenever possible, so we can take advantage of these bushes here. They want to be. I do notice, though, there is artillery on the enemy team, so I want to be extra careful and keep my eyes peeled for artillery trying to zero in on my location. I don't know where the arty is, but it's very possible that he's in a position to hit me, so I don't want to be too... I want to move after I shoot. Get behind the rock and take some cover. So there's a Panther M10. He's an easier target than the IS-6, who keeps kind of trying to bait us to shoot. I'm going to put one into his side. I'm going to move to take better cover in the rocks. And I'm going to lead him down the hill here. I'm going to get another hit into him. 222 roll. So you can see there, I'm starting to take some. That was either artillery or the IS-6 shooting at me. So they know I'm here now. So I want to be a little bit more passive here. Don't want to expose myself unnecessarily. That Tiger 88 is doing a good job preventing these guys from coming around the corner, though. And at this angle, I would have trouble penetrating. But I take a shot at the Churchill, who the Tiger 88 finishes off. Now the Panther M10 comes around the corner. Try to fire at his quarter panel there, his rear quarter panel there, but I miss. So I take a shot at the Panther's lower glacis, but I end up taking a hit from the IS-6 for 430 damage, and we don't even hit the Panther. Now you can see how much that 430 roll he hit us for. We're already down to about a fifth of our health. And you can see where he penned me. Even though my frontal armor was angled pretty well, he still went through. So again, against these higher tier guns, do not expect to be bouncing anything. So now I got to be extra careful, because can't take much more. Now you can see there, I get hit by the M6, who luckily only has the 75mm. and leaves me at 18 HP. Now, if he had the 90, you can also mount a 90 on the M6. He would have killed me there. So I was a little bit too tunnel visioned in there. I didn't notice him until he got a shot on me. But we managed. But we're not going to push our luck any more than we already have. So we're just going to play it cool. And we want to keep an eye on that rock there, because on that hill there, because that IS-6 obviously isn't coming around anytime soon. So now we're going to start focusing on the SU-152. That dangerous derp gun of his can do some serious damage to my team if he gets some good hits. So we're going to keep pounding away at him. There's the M6 again. Want to make sure he doesn't have a shot on me before engaging. So there's another shot on the SU. Now we pretty much rolled them on the other flank here. Our team is moving in on their cap to get around on their flanks. So all that's left is really to just mop up with the guys here. So you can see the IS-6 now. He's going to be going in for a flanking attack on the Jagdtiger 88, and this is where me being in position really helps out. So we started the base capture. The M6 comes out to take another shot, try and help, but I take him out. Now you can see the IS-6 is coming around to try and flank the Jagdtiger 88. I fire at the side of his turret, but it bounces, unfortunately. The IS-6 is a pretty well-angled machine, and when it's top tier, can cause some serious trouble for lower-tiered opponents. I get a shot into the IS-6's side, but I see a better target, the SU-152. Got a free shot on him, so I want to try and take him out before he gets away. But I can see the IS-6 is now close to one shot for me, so I take the shot, kill him, and then move on because the SU was tracked, and I put one into his side for the kill.
They're knocked out.
And that's game. So you can see here, even though we were at the bottom, towards the bottom of the list, and we were up against some superior opponents, we were able to use the proper playstyle of this tank, which I believe to be is just sitting back and being a passive sniper, taking shots when they present themselves, and just try to not be spotted, because as you've seen, you will lose your health pretty quickly if you start taking hits. So you can see how the playstyle is kind of similar but also different. It's pretty hard. It definitely would be really hard to carry in this tank, just because when you're at the bottom of the list, you don't have the best penetrating gun, because that 160 millimeters of pen is good, but it falls short at against tier 8 tanks especially. So unlike the first game, I definitely would not have been able to carry if this, or it would have been incredibly difficult if the enemy team was a lot better, or if my team wasn't as good. But luckily, we had a great team, and we rolled them on the other flank, and I was able to provide some good sniper support on this flank, which allowed us to eventually win the game. So let's take a look at some post-game stats. Alright, so here's our after-action report. You can see we definitely got the most experience on the team. 1,223 base experience, so very good for a tier 6 in a relatively unfriendly environment. You can see we also managed to do the top damage again, pretty close to our previous game that I showed. So around 2,000, we got 2,860. That's pretty close to the damage we got in the last game. Fired 18 shots, 16 of which were direct hits, and 14 of them penned. We only received 2, and both of them penetrated, and you could see that was a potential damage of 505. So we came very close to our hit point limit. So you gotta remember to be careful about taking hits in this thing, especially at the higher tiers, because you will lose your health pretty fast. We spotted one enemy, we damaged 6 and destroyed 3 of them. Only 110 damage upon spotting, but you know, we were the sniper that round, so we really shouldn't have been doing a lot of the spotting anyway. And 0.45 kilometers traveled. The distance we traveled was really from the base to our sniping position, and we spent the game there supporting the flank. So anyway, guys, that's how you want to be successful in the Jackson. It is not a frontline brawling vehicle. It is definitely a stay back and relax sniping kind of vehicle. It's not a Hellcat. It doesn't have the speed of the Hellcat, and it's can be easily flanked due to its slow revolving turret. So if you stay at a far enough distance and you just make those shots count and you sit back and don't get shot, you could be very successful in this thing because it has good DPM, a pretty punchy gun, and definitely a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Do not underestimate a Jackson. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this two-part video. And if you guys are thinking about picking up the Jackson, maybe this will help you guys along in your grind. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.